Truth before the truth. Um, as I said, the last couple videos, creation. Yeah, you're looking at the creator. Yes, I'm the creator. How this this world is filled with people that are demons, and they're possessed by a demon, and they don't know that they're all mocking each other and everyone. They're mocking each other and everyone because as they're possessed and they're mocking by how do we put this? It's just an endless way of putting it. I'm awake, or I'm here, or I'm present, or I'm aware, or I can recognize, or I can realize, or I sense this, or I can perform this, and you cannot. That dividing line puts you in the underworld while you're standing right next to them, and then they look down on you with condescendence or whatever they look at you with. You get it? So when one person wants this or that to happen, and it can't happen because the other person hasn't done that too, there's a dividing line, and they break up forever, or they sit there and pretend because they don't really get anything, period. Neither of the persons are here, and that's already proven. People aren't here because the law proves it around the world with police, lawyers, and judges and all that kind of stuff. Although the police, judges, and lawyers aren't legal themselves, they are trained to follow procedure. And although they might behave the same way, I can assume that they behave a little bit better than regular people. If they're bad or good people, behavior isn't the same as good or bad. Behavior has nothing to do with being good or bad. Villains and heroes obviously behave a little bit better within their own behavior. You can't confuse behavior with following the rules. You're just confusing everything, distinguishing, and now you're making me blab on about information that takes yourself to learn. So back to the topic at hand. People are possessed by demons, by a demon, and they sit there and they lash out on each other because once they're aware of something in their head, they think they're already confusing their own intuition to learn more with the other person needing to be like them. So there we have it. There is just the chaos of people doing that, and it's like the law has the Triton, and it's just stabbing and smiting the whole world of people because they just need lawyers, and they can't even walk into the courtroom and say, hello, my name is this, I do this, I'm being honest. Here, you can't just fucking roll me over and fucking put it in my butt because I don't know the law and I don't get it. At least you're standing up for yourself. You're coming clean. As long as you get it. I mean, although that doesn't prove that you're this or that, it just, that's just what's happening right now. It's set up to smite people. They're obviously illegal. They just keep working only. And when you work only, you just die. If you know how to work only, you won't die, and you'll just sit here and work only, and you'll probably will ignore the other people because they don't know how to live forever working only. So what I'm getting at out of that intro about people being possessed with demons, and they keep lashing out on each other as they keep taking a side and thinking and blaming someone else because they think that they're the one that's present and you're the one that's not. Like for example, the guy that I'm walking on down this trail to go to the river, and this guy keeps his vehicle parked full of fuel, like it's a custom vehicle. So he's got his own fuel pump and his own fuel line. But we're not stupid. We see that there's pesticides in your vehicle tank, in your fuel tank, and you've got a sprayer. So you're going down the trail and you're spraying every night, so you can believe that the people are inhaling fumes. Now the people are already inhaling fumes because there's fumes everywhere. The gasoline from the cars is actually such a healthy fume compared to all the chemicals that we actually live with. We live from the tar and the fucking the carbon monoxide coming out. It's still carbon. It's not just some lethal chemical that it should be put on a hazard list. So what I'm getting at is that there's certain things that cannot be done. Now, people will not demand for a real thing in the law. So what they're doing something totally illegal. They are making a man or a woman, let's just make it a man. A man is just a human over the age of 18. That's how we classify a man. An adult over the age of 18. An adult, what's the difference between a man and an adult? We call the human species man. Mankind. There's not really a clear distinction there, so people can continue to use those words to confuse things. So let's just say a man is inside the word human, man, human, blah, blah, blah. So they're making it illegal for them to put someone's name on a birth certificate while they're circumcising the child. They're allowed to circumcise a child, so the boy is tortured forever to ensure or mandate their reflexes, because they're in torment, to reproduce. So we watch pornography, and we have penises with our heads out. That means we're forced to instinctually get the itch out of our penises, and everyone thinks that their only guilt trip is that they have too much sex. How more innocent can you get? So they're enforcing child support, so there's zero communication between the person who actually isn't here anymore, because they believed in a career and working only, and they believed in having children so they can sit there and they can sit there with their child and just fit in with everyone. All those illusions don't make sense, and they're just illusions forever. So these single parents planned on having children because they've heard about child support, and they'll have more children too if someone walks in there and just starts doing that. So it's usually a woman. It's usually a woman who files for child support. All right, that's a rhyme. File for child support. And you're forcing someone who has nothing to do with the child. When you raise a child, that child is yours. Biological or not, that child is yours. That's a parent. Okay? The father and the mother is the parents. We don't have an effect. Your genetical dispersion is not the father or mother. Okay? You know why? Because there's only 4 races. Okay? We don't know if the Arabs are a mixed race or not from all the other races. We've got brown people on one side of the earth that look like mixed people who became natural, and they're not, so they're obviously their own people now. And we got Asians, we got Africans, and we got Europeans, who they call white people or Caucasians. And so obviously everyone else comes from those 3 races, most likely. They say Mayan people are just brown people from some ancient time. Who knows what they are? That's not let's not believe that Mayans are coming from people, because then you have another side of humans that think that Mayans are a new race, you know. Because then you'll think that Africans came first or white people came first. That's just retarded. That's another one of those things to divide people into two, so both sides are just arguing, and they don't even get life at all. They're just gonna sit there and pout with some shit in their head that doesn't make sense at all, because it's not helping us at all. It's not helping anything. It's not helping you. It's not helping me. It helps you for a moment figure out something else, because it lets you think about your own genetical heritage. So we got people who are enforcing poor adults who have no money. They don't even have money for food because they chose rent. I'm a bum, all right? I'm a legal person. I can represent myself in the court of law. I'm actually the creator, so I cancel everything, and I am legal enough to do whatever I want. I can go and kill someone right now, but I'm trying to actually save the world, because no one else will be legal or join me, because they're obviously not caring, because they're stuck with some sort of hate from something stupid like child support. So right now they're putting our creator on earth is me. This guy that's talking to you, me, Toby Zane Anderson, is the creator right now, who's supposed to go right now, according to the law of the country, the United States of America, is supposed to go around killing people so he can enforce all of his power after the court of law gives it to him. Well, why am I not doing that yet? I told you I'm going for a big shebang. I'm gathering the information all the way, and I have pretty much all of it. I mean, I don't really need to write anything else down. I have everything in my head. It's not forgettable, but the problem is that once we begin creation, I know I'm distracting from my topic here, but once we go straight for creation, we don't know who these people are. And the paranoia that I'm talking about, that's dividing people into twos over and over again, just more and more dividing two, you're just splitting up yourselves in halves over and over again into infinite size. And so why would I not just go straight for it right now? Because I've only known this on the outside for a couple years tops, and a couple years tops. So I guess I've known this for 10 years, which means, but people, when used to say something to me, they spoke in foresight. Like I said in my previous video, they speak in foresight. They're so empty and desperate, but they're kind-hearted inside still, because they know something's possible probably. And they used to say that you're special, Toby, or you're this or that, something like that, you know. So they abandoned me to be all by myself, knowing intuitively that that's all their own intuition is me. Someone that's still possible, you know. I didn't get hit on by very many girls, so I didn't sit there and have pornography sex full time like most people did or ended up forcing, you know. So obviously I had some bit more energy, and now that I'm here and I'm the creator, you know that it's possible for anyone else to become the creator. Now coincidentally, I know the whole shebang, and anyone else who's the creator really needs me, or they might just get hunted down by these demons who aren't even difficult to deal with. Even though there's rapists and murderers out there who don't even work anymore, and they're just mutilating people in the background of the mass. Even those people justify their own beings, and they know that if you actually want to take charge for a moment of their shit and you want to catch them, you can't go against their justifications. You know, the whole world is based on justifications. Everyone's sitting here justified. You know, I'm actually justifying, like I just said, for the first time in my life, now that I know that I'm the creator, after the last year or so, the last couple years, that there's a few reasons that happen once we get into creation. I'm also preparing to not get shot by the law or the people after a reaction happens. Um, I have to go to people door to door, and I have to face them face to face to see their reaction. And from there, I might have to pose as a police officer and or some kind of position to see the reactions of people before we take this into a full scale. And we're talking the birth of a planet creation. We're not talking about we're talking about the revelations are actually real. The revelations in Ragnarok are actually the real thing in this moment of time right now. You can cancel all the other things, and even when you look at Yggdrasil for pagans, if you want to call that a pagan thing, Norse mythology, Greek mythology, Christianity, the Islamic people. Prophets it's possible for almost anyone to be a prophet, but the entire thing isn't here right now. I mean, we don't need that shit right now because we're at a global birth moment, and only revelations in Ragnarok make complete sense. And I'm not going to explain it to you because I write rhymes about it without explaining to you directly. I will explain it to you in person, although there's no one here listening to my video. This is all for a time capsule in case something happens. For any reason, we know all information on the internet gets recorded for them to sit here for 1,000 years afterwards with all the things that we've made for them at our jobs. They stockpile any good products and they vacuum seal it and put it in underground warehouses. There's underground cities of people who know how to live longer, who have all the money, and they chose to tap out and wait for themselves to live in nature by themselves. But what we have instead is a bigger opportunity. Actually, the biggest opportunity possible in the known universe is possible right now, here and now. Now, what I was saying back there, my topic is about child support. People file for child support. So a low-wage worker, someone who's making just enough money to buy food, to buy the clothes that he needs, only the clothes that he needs, to stay real and natural, not get blacked out by faulty products, but to learn accordingly, because the world is filled with all these nasty poisons, and buy food, clothing, and a storage unit, and maybe a tent here to block the wind. I don't need a tent right where I'm at right now, but it gets windy, so I need it to block the wind so I can cook a meal. And so they file for child support, and I've got money enough to save to do that without a job, because you can't work 365 days a year. You have to take 3 months off minimum a year to collect yourself. They poison our environment, they poison our house, they poison our food, they poison our work environment. Everything is poisoned. I've said that in a previous video, all the way definitively. And you have to be aware. It's a cautionary awareness program. That's who's actually present. The person who's learning and having cautionary awareness and has their own programming is the one who's present. And then because that's me, and there's a couple other individuals out there, the people who are poisoning aren't the ones who are present anymore, or before. They just learned something and they think people aren't present, because they learn one fact and they divide their own system from the rest of the people, and then that's it. That's all they see is like one or two sides. And there's all these endless sides that are just details of the whole picture. You can't put yourself on the piece and then jump to another piece and then call the other piece to burn that piece down forever. It's not how the puzzle works. Fuck you. I would shoot you in the head right now, but obviously I would have already killed a bunch of people years ago. But I'm here for a purpose, and I'm actually caring, and I want to Yes, those people should be killing people right now, like we always have. In the old West, you walk around with your gun and shoot someone. No, but I have a purpose, and I'm only going to try to fulfill that. Or I would have, avenged other people from getting drugged and murdering people's fathers. I mean, come on, you murdered my father, who knows everything that I know and knows more, or he would have pursued something. He knows more than me, on the real aspect of being a being. Like, it's more than just rocks and a tree and food. Yeah, I know more than him there. Of course I know more than him there. I'm his son, and I got sent to lead the way. So you murdered my father, who already knew everything as the creator. And he saw me, a boy who has the instincts in his body, obviously. So they're filing for child support because they're told to. And now that I'm a minimum wage worker, because no one will reach out and help someone or give them some money. They got millions of dollars, and they won't give me a truck so I can get a real job. They won't give me 20 grand because they believe anything that's in their head, or they don't even hear something in their head. They just go to work and go home. They're not even present no matter what. We could just sit here and talk about the details. But what I'm saying is that it's completely illegal. You cannot put someone on child support ever. We have an internet. You can go to court to find the person and sue them. You can find the person even if they change their identity. You can sue the law to find that person because I believe that they're the father. And then you ask that person out, you ask them for help, you ask them for this or that, and you be a genuine person and you come clean. And that's how you get support. Or we vote for the system because the money isn't real anyways. We're resource-based. We don't have an economy. We're resource-based. We're depleting the planet. And you're making little people who have no money pay for the child support? We shot you already. You're dead. We walked around all day, 5,000 men, and we shot you in the head full time. You died. You're not here. We continued on our efforts after we shot you in the head. That's actually what happens when everyone's filled with poison and faith and a bigger cause called creation that's possible. We woke up instantly and we shot you in the head because you're in our way, and we're still here. We're trying to provide for everyone, and you get resurrected from creation. How more simple does it get? Anything you say can and will be used against you because you don't know what you're doing. You too. The law is the same. You don't get it either. I get it because I chose the right path. Anyways, I'm angry because you're taking my summer away, and I told you to get the child support away, or we're going to have a big serious problem. You're going to blow the fuse, okay? And it doesn't stop from there. You're not going to find me, all right? I'm serious. You're going to sit here and you're going to monitor me, this little bum with a red beard who you murdered the father of, and I'm going to disappear. I'm not lying. This is what we already know inside. You know everything inside. All right? You know everything. All right? You chose dumb shit so you can have a crippled body. You don't have a brain. You don't know what you're doing. Like I said in my last video, you're crucified. And you're still vindictive while there's nails in your hand. All right? You're sick. You're sick in your head. Let go or else. You know what I'm saying? You're hurting your own children. There's nothing else you can do. You just want to take everything. Come on, get with the program. All right? Get with something. That's where you found yourself. You have some kindness left, and you're sitting there not going ballistic and turning into a zombie. Well, I mean, metaphorically. That's a different subject. So you're putting me on child support. They changed their email, the child support people, after I told them I'm completely legal because they jumped me in, and you're basically working for me according to the law. You work for me. The police works for me, obviously, The police is working for me technically only, all right? Because I've called them and they know that they approached me on camera and I've spoke to them about giving me a weapon, and they should give me a weapon so I can decide for myself whether to shoot someone or not. You know, big whoop. I shoot someone, that's not a big deal. That's how responsibility goes, all right? For eternity. You know, the guy who's responsible will deal with the burden himself. All right. When a mother abandons their baby in the nest because they keep chirping, all right, you know, when a mother puts a nest in McDonald's, you messed up her life because you made it feel welcome, because all the people were walking into McDonald's with their children and everyone thought it was happy. And then you made me go into the bathroom at McDonald's. All right. They didn't put chemicals in the McDonald's bathrooms because everyone will start vomiting. And McDonald's probably sues for that because all the other fast food places has chemicals in their bathrooms. So the mother abandoned the children and didn't get in trouble. She got rewarded because she knows that her children aren't capable within her own being. And these mothers, mostly mothers, are filing for child support because they chose some boy to be her pervert. They chose a boy. Girls think that they're sexual and that they're sitting there putting things in their vagina. They're putting things in their vagina at a young age, and they're told that a boy will be theirs and they'll have sex with them forever, all the time. So when the boy isn't here for that, he was here for love, because we're still young, and young people are allowed to rebel the current world, obviously, and they chose something else. They chose to go and be a whore and suck dick all day. Then they take the child after drugging. I was drugged by my son's mother. It's not my son anymore. It was my son from the year 1 through 7. 1 through 7, it was my son because I spent quality time with him and I was still planning on being with him. Before the COVID stunt happened, I offered my full-time support, and I offered for my son to be mine and come and live with me, and he didn't respond, and he didn't even say yes or no. He just fucking was being weird and wanted to sit with his mother. I know he doesn't want to sit with his mother, but I don't have the means, I don't have the weapons to go and take my son, because the child belongs with me, not the sick piece of shit molesting abusive pervert. I don't even know if the child's alive. The child was raised by her anyways, and other pieces of shit who don't care about themselves. The child didn't sprout the way it would have sprouted with my company. Do you understand? When you're with a child full time, that's your child. When you have students as a teacher, it's your child. You're a parent because you're with them every day. That whole year, you were that son's or daughter's parent, more, possibly more. Okay? That's called a friend. That's called your family. It's all the same thing. You're influenced by them. Okay? We don't even know what this kid is. You know, my father had me every single summer, you know, until he left when I was in high school. That was enough influence to last right when I got out of high school, when he returned. You know, and not to mention that the child I'm on the birth certificate is a mixed race, and there's no peoples of mixed races except the Arabs, and he doesn't even look like an Arab, you know. So how can this child be mine? You know, I did a DNA test and I figured out that DNA tests are not real. There's no possible way that you can prove to me or another human or anyone through any vial or any machine or anything like that. You can't prove that this is my child. Do you understand? Even if you think you can. You're using some type of instrument, okay? You think you can, but that's not true. That's not my child. My child was my child. You understand? I wasn't even present in the moment because you black us all out with poisons to even know that I was having a child. We're just unconscious people coming out of high school told to have sex inside of our systems through a demon. Do you understand? The demon that's telling you what to do when you do stupid shit. I wrote a video about that already. So you're filing for child support so you can sit there and call someone a deadbeat. You don't even know what deadbeat means. All the things we say come from gods or people who are like me who know what they're saying. Do you understand? You cannot put me on child support. All right? When you send a letter and it says we can take all of my money, all of my working money for food, that is either I give up. That's ultimate proof that I give up, or I have to start killing people. And now that I'm putting a video out here and I put myself on blast full time, I wear white clothing and a white hat in public, and I'm open to everyone, including the police, that you know that when you take my money that you can watch me disappear and start killing people. And you just sit there and think that killing people is some kind of guy you have to arrest after you admit being a piece of shit. I don't understand why I have to yell at you through a video. Do you understand? You're so terrified at me yelling at you like this, and I'm not even barely yelling or getting angry. I'm just stating the fact that your terror and fear is sucking me in so much that you're dying right now of a heart attack because I'm recording the video. More people are dying because I have to record this video that's obviously obvious. Stop talking about someone needs to pay child support. You got shot in your head when you as a company who's in charge of this place is in charge of millionaires, and they're putting a poor person who's working at the golf course, because it's nice to work. I'm still privileged to work there because I get to work outdoors, and not be in a poisoned environment. Although everyone there stinks because they're poisoned in their house and from their other people that they know. And I have to cover my face everywhere I go because I'm a legal individual and I know what I'm doing. These people are on the shit list already because they're letting someone that they know I own the place technically by law. By law, I own the whole place. Everyone is owned by me because they signed notes that said they promise. You promised, but where's the promise? You're still promised. You haven't fulfilled the promise. I already fulfilled the promise years ago, and I never even signed a promise note. So you are on the shit dick list because that's your only excuse, is that you're a shit dick, right? Am I right or am I wrong? So you put me on child support and you're not taking me off child support, and I'm gonna have to leave here and cross you off on the fucking death list. It's not a death threat. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that I'm gonna come over there and kill you. I'm saying that I already did just now after approving my check, and I'm on my way, and you don't know how humans function. You think that because you have security and police that everything's just like taken care of? That's insane. You don't even have security. You just have an old nursery, an old fucking people's home where there's fucking old big houses, and everyone talks shit that a demon tells you to talk in your head. If I were to tell you the shit that the demon tells me to talk, it isn't real, because I would talk the same dumb shit you talk. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that you have to take me off of child support because you know that it's wrong and illegal. You put yourself on the illegal list, not just my shit list, okay? Because I have to make a list of those who get put down in the lower category, who cannot be looked at by me. Once we get this whole thing started, the youth will be looking at me across the whole world. Do you understand? The whole planet. I'm preparing you right now. Anyone who has the balls to press play on my videos will know that you already have seen this probably in your head then. You've seen this in your head, possibly. But you're now looking at the proof. You might have thought that at the same time. Big fucking whoop. You know what I'm saying? Big fucking whoop. Stop thinking about it in your head. Get in your fucking body and punch yourself or something. That's what I would be doing if I wasn't sitting here living ontologically for everyone else. Do you understand? It isn't that difficult. Like I'm saying, you're the one that's making you difficult. All right? Every organism and life form is not finding anything difficult but humans being a piece of shit. Do you understand? So you are on the illegal list. Let's cut it short. 35 minutes. You are on the illegal list because you know that other companies do not put their employees on child support. Come on, dude. Why don't you think for a moment? It isn't possible to just look someone up and then take their money and you know nothing about them because you think that they owe child support. Dude, it's a test. It's a test to see what kind of piece of shit you are. When you are told to do that and you still do it, you have to tell the lawyer, if there's lawyers, that I cannot put someone I don't know on child support. I don't even know anything about this person. I feel obligated that I don't know the story. I don't know that every parent is a good parent unless they are not what? The good parent is sitting there with the child and working and spending all their time with them, but the other parent has to pay child support because of what? The parent who's working and with the child is the good parent, but all the humans are raised properly. All the humans are raised properly. These single parents who need child support are raising the child properly. How many times do you want to get fucking your heart punched out and ripped out in front of your own? You want to rip your own heart out in the mirror. That's your own comedy. That's your own comedy when you wake up. You just want to see that you want to laugh at your dumbass self and fucking rip your own heart out every day, man. It's not funny anymore, okay? We're trying to make it here through me only, the whole planet. Do you understand? These other people who say they're the creator or they're the legal, they know the facts only. They don't have the intentions. They don't have the will. They don't have the facts. They don't have the plans. They don't know what they're doing in life. They don't know how to live basically as a poor person or a rich person. They haven't thought anything through. They don't know how to do things. That's how everything works. There is no problems within the current. You know what you're doing, or there's problems that you have to fix. And the problems that we're needing to fix are made up problems that are hiding the real problems. You ever get it? Do you get anything? Anything that I said? That's fine, but what you need to get is that there's a bigger purpose that we're trying to get that makes me legal, and you're not legal because you need a lawyer. And you need to take me off of child support. I could take everything from you right now. But what would happen is that I would start showing mercy and I would start getting angry, and everyone else would be too, because they would notice that I'd be wasting all my time sitting here in a courtroom for your little shit dick. Do you know what I'm saying? We know that you're banging we know that you're sexually molesting some younger girl or younger boy in their anus. You know, like, this isn't a joke. Like, we know that that's what you're doing. Even if you're not, you might as well be. You understand? So you need to take me off of child support and take everyone else off of child support before those women or single parents who file for child support, you understand? Ruin everything. Truth before the truth.